Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Ask Adam, our weekly video log where we answer your questions, anything health, fitness or nutrition related. And this week we've got another 3 great questions from our clients and members and our community here at Greenwich Fitness Performance. So let's dive right in. Our first question comes from Aslan Ertan, our young personal training client, who you may have seen on some of our Facebook and Instagram posts and his progress pictures, because he's made some incredible gains and made incredible progress in the last year to 18 months while training us. And he asks, Adam, should I use a lifting belt when lifting my heavy lifts such as squats and deadlifts? It's a great question because a lot of people ask us about lifting belts. Should they be using them or shouldn't they? And it really is a grey area. There's no black and white one answer for everyone because it does come down to personal preference. One thing we must highlight is why you should use a lifting belt or why use a lifting belt in the first place. A lot of people believe it's because you've got a weak lower back and it's going to protect your back, whereas that's not the real reason you should be using a lifting belt when lifting on your heavy lifts such as squats and deadlifts. And even certain lifts like bench press can even be useful. The real reason you use a lifting belt is to increase and create more abdominal pressure, internal abdominal pressure, which helps you to basically brace your core, which makes you stronger and tighter in your core, meaning you can produce more force and obviously lift more weight. Okay, that is the real reason why you would use a lifting belt. So if your primary goal is to get as strong as possible in the core lifts, or you want to be a power lifter or a strength athlete, and your outcome is to simply move as much resistance and weight as possible, then absolutely a lifting belt can be a great aid and support if that's your goal. If your goal is just to get in great shape, is to be more functional, to train for a sport of any kind like that, and it's purely performance based in terms of the movement or changing body shape, then the belt is certainly not essential. It doesn't mean you shouldn't use it, but it's certainly not something you need to be using. Don't worry about using a belt to extend on everything, but you might want to use it on certain exercises such as your squat and your deadlift if you're trying to get stronger in that lift and you feel like that's going to help you. However, I will warn that once you start using a lifting belt, it is hard to then stop using one. It's very easy to become dependent on it. I trained for over 10 years without ever using a belt whatsoever, and then I started to use one a couple of years ago, and now I find it very difficult not to use a lifting belt on my heavy core lifts. So, as that to answer your question, if your sole primary goal is to get as strong as possible and move as much resistance and weight as possible in those key lifts, then absolutely I recommend you should use a belt. But it is a personal preference. Some of our trainers, clients and members never use belts, some use them a lot, some will alternate depending on the exercise and what they're training on that day. Okay? So it really is a personal preference. Well, I hope that helps. Okay, question number 2 is all about the best rep ranges for both hypertrophy and fat loss. And I've been asked what are the best rep ranges for hypertrophy, which is muscle building and muscle growth, and fat loss. And the answer to that question is there is no best rep range for fat loss, but there is a recommended rep range for hypertrophy and muscle gain. Let me explain. If your goal is to build muscle size and to increase the size of your muscles in terms of hypertrophy, then the recommended textbook range would be 8 to 12 reps, thereabouts, okay? Anywhere within that rep range, at approximately 70 to 80% of your 1RM, your 1 rep max. We spoke about 1 rep maxes briefly in last week's video, so if you haven't seen that, check that out. So you'd use a weight that's between 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max for that exercise, and you perform between 8 to 12 reps. And that would be your recommended textbook rep range for hypertrophy and muscle gain. However, having said that, what I've used a lot in the past and what some of my other clients have used, and I've seen a lot of other trainers and members use, and my training partners over the years have also utilised, is a lower rep range, lower volume, higher intensity of 4 to 6. Now, you won't find this in many strength textbooks or program designed sort of lessons. However, personal experience has taught me that moving and shying away from your traditional hypertrophy training and more towards a strength sort of rep range has given me greater gains in size, not just in terms of strength, but also muscle size. I follow principles based on a training philosophy called maximum overload training, which I have found incredibly effective for myself and clients. I've used these principles to step on stage and compete as a drug-free natural bodybuilder twice now, and I've also seen other people use these principles to build natural muscle growth and step on stage as well as natural drug-free bodybuilders. So 4 to 6 is a rep range that I've found very, very effective, but textbooks will tell you that it's more than 8 to 12 rep range. Now, the key principle here to remember is the number one thing that builds muscle tissue and increases muscle size is something called progressive overload. So as long as you're overloading the muscle on a progressive, ongoing, long-term basis, you're going to stimulate muscle growth and size as long as your nutrition is supporting that training. Okay? Nutrition is critical and essential to all of this. So as long as you're progressively overloading that muscle on an ongoing basis, then the rep range is not going to be as relevant. Okay? You can use a variety of rep ranges in order to achieve that goal, as long as you're achieving progressive overload. So whether you use a 4 to 6 range, more strength focused, 8 to 12 rep range of traditional hypertrophy, or a blend and a hybrid of the two, you must focus on progressive overload to stimulate muscle growth. Now, second part of the question is fat loss. Now, what's the best rep range for fat loss? I'm not going to go into too much depth here, but my belief and my experience has taught me that there is no best rep range for fat loss. What determines fat loss is ultimately raising, stimulating, elevating your metabolism, both your resting and your basal metabolic rate on an ongoing basis, as high as possible for as long as possible, combined with controlled nutrition, a calorie intake that is in a slight deficit on an ongoing basis. That ultimately is going to create fat loss. So whether you use a rep range that's based on strength training, power training, very low reps, low volume, or whether you use a more high volume frequency of training of sort of 8 to 15 reps, or anything between, or whether you sort of periodise your training through those rep ranges. Ultimately, which is going to get you lean in terms of fat loss and help you metabolize more fat, is determined by your nutrition, guys. That's the truth. It's the nutrition that is going to allow you to get lean. I've seen people getting ripped, lean, shredded with very low volume training, very high intensity, low rep range, high weights. In fact, that's the system that I generally use. I've also seen people get lean using higher rep ranges, but they're not going to build as much muscle tissue in the process. Now, lean muscle tissue is what raises your metabolism up long term. It's what increases your resting metabolic rate. So the more lean muscle tissue you have, the more calories and fat you're going to burn when at rest, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that, my friends, is the key to fat loss. Raising and elevating your metabolism and creating a calorie deficit on an ongoing basis. So there is no, in my humble opinion, ideal rep range for fat loss. Okay, hope that makes sense, I hope that's helpful. The third and final question today, quite related to fat loss, is on nutrition. And the question comes from Steve, and the question is, how much fat should I be having? I understand the recommendations for protein and carbohydrates, but how much fat should I be having in my daily nutrition? Again, Steve, like a lot of the other principles, it does depend on you specifically and your personal needs. Also depends on your goals. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to increase muscle size and strength and get bigger and stronger? Are you trying to get leaner and drop body fat and change body composition that way? Because those questions, those factors are going to determine what calorie intake you need, therefore what macronutrient breakdown you need, and therefore what total fat intake you need for that day. But here's a good rule of thumb. A good rule of thumb for fat intake that I use a lot, at least for a starting point for people, is 1 gram per kilo of body weight. That's a good rule of thumb to start with. Then from there, you can determine whether you need more fat or less fat. Some people respond better to a higher fat diet with lower carbohydrates. Some people respond better to higher carbohydrates and lower fat intake. I'm definitely a big believer in a relatively high fat intake diet for both health, performance, recovery, strength, and even fat loss. I'm not a big believer in low fat diets or extremely low fat diets. I believe you need a good balance, but a good starting point to find out what's right for you is 1 gram of fat per day per kilo of body weight. Start there, then find out how you feel, how you're performing, how your body composition is changing, combined with your protein and carbohydrate intake, and then you can determine whether you want to increase or decrease from there. But that's a good starting point. Okay guys, that's our 3 questions for today. I hope you found that valuable, hope you found it useful. As always, send your training, your nutrition and your health questions to adam@greenwichfp.com, subject line Ask Adam, and we'll do our best to answer your questions in coming videos. Okay guys, have a great day. I look forward to seeing you in the gym, and I'll see you soon.